this is always my favorite part of the general business session. But again, we established the Hall of Fame in 2021. I do want to give credit again to Mr. Mike Kelly, who is the reason that this exists. While he was president, he said we need to do more to honor our leaders, honor the important people from the past and from the present. So this would not exist without him. So thank you again, Mike, for that vision. And again, this is the highest honor that we can bestow, and it's reserved for members. Extraordinary service to the industry, to AABC in particular, embody AABC's founding principles. And then just to briefly recap, these are the historical inductees that we've done since 2021. We did the 3 principal founders of AABC in 2021, excuse me, which is Arnold Pearl, Walter Lipsky, and Taylor Cahoe. The following year, we inducted George Young, father of Mike Young, who Galen spoke about just recently, and father of Steve Young. George Coltis as well with Cahoe Air Balance in 2022. And then last year, Ted Cohen of Air Conditioning Test and Balance, kind of the father of Tab Journal. So that was the historical inductees. We've done 3 modern inductees so far. George Ebert, the inaugural one in 2021, the longtime TBE custodian. Joe Baumgartner in 2022, longtime custodian of Tab Journal. And of course, Galen Richardson, the man to my left, the kind of the father of everything, standards in particular. But you know, we got to pick one hook for him. So this year, we opted to, we're prepping a kind of a bigger batch of inductees for the anniversary year, for the 60th year, but we did want to have some people this year and keep the momentum going. And if you notice, most of the people that we have inducted, they either formed or helped maintain, you know, pillars of AABC, things that have been longtime programs, longtime cornerstones of the association. You know, they either founded the thing itself or important programs, exams, standards, publications, programs, things like that. And this year what we looked to is there was one of those that we hadn't gotten to, and that's the technician certification program. And we looked back to the history of that and kind of re-educated ourselves on excuse me, where that got its start. Because it was really back in the mid-'80s that there was recognized to be a need for, you know, the entry-level certification before people had enough experience to be a TBE. And what I found in doing a little bit of research from back in the '80s is the ball was passed to a couple of different people in the '80s. You know, there was the idea that this was important, this was something we should do, and a couple of people said, well, you know, I'll take a shot at it, and you know, and it kind of. You know, of course, these were all busy people, and not everybody got to it. But finally, after about a year or two, they passed the ball on that to these 2 men right here. And that's Walter Green and Chuck Fant, Charles, mostly known as Chuck, of Environmental Test and Balance Company. And Walt was on the board for a time, and through that, he took on that task. Drafted his friend and longtime business partner in the company, Chuck Fant, and they got working on that. They spent 3 years developing that first version of the technician certification exam. Again, you know, you got to think back. We take it for granted now. It's been around for so long, but it didn't exist then. There was nothing for anybody to get a certification until you had 8 years of test and balance experience. You know, you guys have a lot of people that don't yet meet that threshold, and the same was true back then. So this was an important thing. It was a hole, and they had identified it. So they spent 3 years putting that together into a form that they were, you know, satisfied with, that they thought passed muster. And then they launched it in 1989. And then the 2 of them, they maintained that exam, they updated that exam, they graded that exam. Every single exam that was taken, this was, you know, again, this was the 80s, the 90s. There's no computer grading, there's none of that. These are all longhand tests, and they graded every single one of those for 13 years. It was hundreds of exams for 13 years. And they just, again, as with so many of the people important people from AABC's past, They just take on a duty, and then they assume it, they take it as their own. And it's a rare thing. It's a lot of work that these guys take on, and they're almost always, they're selfless about it. You don't hear them complaining about it. They took it on, they did it for a reason, they wanted to give back, and they put in that work and they did it. And their legacy, for those two guys in particular, is that, today there's 550 some odd active certified technicians. There's probably that many more who have been technicians at some point, and they've either left the industry, they left an AABC company, they've gone on to become TBEs. So just all of these people, they have in part, and all of us have, to thank Walt and Chuck for the hard work that they did maintaining that program and building it in the first place. So on the basis of that work over a long period of time, we're very pleased and honored to induct Walt and Chuck into the AABC Hall of Fame. And if I can ask Sean Green and Josh Green, Walt Green's sons, to come up and accept that award.
I'll let people see it. You get a better picture up here, right? This Walt.
Yep.
You can take Chuck's. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. It's a real honor to accept this award on behalf of this great group. On behalf of my dad and Chuck. They just love being part of this association. Love the membership here. And within the AABC, they just they did what we all should do. They got involved. They volunteered their time, and they gave the gifts that they had to give to an organization that's given us so much. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Ray, thank you for that presentation. We really appreciate it. And Galen, thank you for the nomination. And it means a lot to us. It means a lot to Chuck's family as well. They wanted to send their thanks and their gratitude. And thank you for the board for voting. And it means a lot to us. We appreciate you. We appreciate the recognition and remembering them and everything they did. This organization was extremely important to them. They love this organization. So thanks again. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I will say one thing. You know how the apple doesn't fall far from the tree? Well, I got a story about the apple for both those young men right there. First of all, Walt Green. He loved wine. He also loved to take trains to these meetings. I thought that's the craziest thing. It takes you hours to ride on a train anymore. And he would get on the train, read a book, have his wine, chill out, come to these meetings fired up. Okay? Sean got that part of the deal. Sean drove all the way over here from Tennessee just for this meeting to collect his faults. Hopefully he wasn't drinking wine while he was doing that. But that apple didn't fall far from the tree. Walt was a great guy. He was very serious, but not quite as serious as Chuck Fant was. Would y'all agree with that? Chuck was the meat and bones of let's dig in and get down to the basics, okay? So there were two great guys that really helped build this organization. And I was very proud to be their friends as we worked together on some of these committees. So congratulations, guys. Well deserved.
Thank you again. Thanks, guys.